This is undoubtedly, in my mind, one of the greatest songs ever written. But is the singer the greatest singer?
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you?
Do you?
It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
That's actually getting me. Okay.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
I really just want to sing it. So there's a few different things going on here. What constitutes as good singing? Well, that really is a matter of opinion, and it could be technical things. There are certain points that people mostly hit when they reach a certain level in their career. This might be things like rhythm, and Leonard Cohen certainly is in rhythm. There's also pitch. He is actually interesting. He's kind of sliding, there's some flats, there's some sharps. His notes aren't always consistent all the way through. Another thing that people often search for is efficiency and resonance and clarity. Now, he definitely has a distinctive tone and it doesn't sound particularly efficient. So by these terms, perhaps not. Yet is technique the point of singing? And this is the question I really want to bring to you. To me, technique is a tool to help us express more, and he's already expressing. If he's found a way to express, and he's doing that really, really successfully, then he's kind of cutting out the middleman. And the fact that his songwriting is so strong, so incredibly poetic and beautiful and heartfelt, means that he can lean into that and just rely on the storytelling. Now, there are versions of this where the singing is absolutely phenomenal. If you look at Jeff Buckley, it's one of my favourite performances ever. But this almost spoken, pared back, non-technical version, it has Leonard in it, and that's what's really beautiful. So yeah, I think he's a great singer here.
Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you.
That's so expressive though.
She tied you to a kitchen chair.
So if you listen to things like the word tied, instead of she tied you to, hitting that note, she kind of slides up and scoops through that note and doesn't really sit on the pitch for a consistent amount of time. And this happens quite a lot.
But you needed proof. You saw her bathing
See?
on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. And she broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah.
But yet he's making all the sounds very onomatopoeic, I suppose. Things like cut, he makes it cutting, lips, sounds kind of like lips. He's making everything sound like the word, so it's a great storytelling, and he's pushing and pulling that rhythm into a conversational place instead of she tied you to the kitchen chair. She tied you to the kitchen chair. You know, he kind of, I'm not sure exactly what he did, but he pulls it around to make it feel like he's just talking to you and telling that story in an emotional way.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. God above. As for me, all I ever learned from love is how to shoot at someone who outdrew you.
He's even actually speaking a lot, right?
But it's
how
not
outdrew
a
you.
cry that you hear tonight. It's not some pilgrim who claims to have seen the light. No, it's a cold and it's a very broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
It's really interesting because I feel like in our modern world an artist like him might not cut through. Maybe there are people, if they're able to get that across quickly on a TikTok, I suppose. His style of singing to me relies on you sitting back and listening and taking the time to understand his perspective and his connection to emotion and to feeling. You could tell he's feeling it, and when he's feeling it, the audience are feeling it too. There's something I've been thinking a lot about recently is the link between singing and your nervous system. Now, if you don't know much about the nervous system, there's actually two sides to it. You've got your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. I always remember the sympathetic nervous system because it's not very sympathetic. It's going, oh my goodness, there might be a tiger over there. It's your alert system. And if that's pinging off everywhere when you're singing, it becomes really difficult for you to relax into that emotion and give a truthful and connected performance. And this is maybe an unusual lens to look at singing through, but what I often ask my students is to look at their singing through the lens of their nervous system. What can they do to calm that nervous system down before they sing and to be able to get into that flow zone? Some people get into that nice relaxed state by singing, so that's really, really helpful if you're one of those people. Some of us don't, and we need to go to other places. Maybe we need to make sure we get enough sleep. Maybe we need to do a little meditation before we sing. Maybe it's just a couple of deep breaths. So I think it's a Hammond organ. So what's interesting about using the Hammond organ is that is used in a lot of gospel music, so it really connects it to spirituality. I think it depends on how you take it. It reminds me of Hozier's Take Me to Church. I feel like maybe that's his take on this song in some ways, in that it is spiritual, but maybe you could see it from another angle if you wanted to. Great backing vocals as well, so warm. It's like the church choir, right?
Oh, people, I've been here before. I know this room, and I've walked this floor. You see, I used to live alone before I knew you.
There's something about the graveliness and the depth of his voice that makes you feel like he understands the wisdom of life, that he's both lived life and he understands it, he's experienced it and he's learned from it, and out of that place has grown this wonderful, poetic, beautiful song. And that is something that is unique to his version. It feels like a life well lived and makes it so beautiful to listen to.
And I've seen your flag on the Marble Arch, but listen, love is not some kind of victory march. No, it's a cold and it's a very lonely hallelujah. Hallelujah. was a time.
Leonard Cohen was said to have written up to 180 draft verses of this song over a very, very long period of time, and he whittled it down to his favourites. Hence, there are many versions with different verses in it. You could hear the Alexandra Burke version where she's chosen some specific verses, and they all mean something a little bit different. And it's kind of similar to a lot of hymns, right? It's reminding me of a lesson I was teaching recently, and a student of mine was saying, I always want to sing songs with this specific emotion. And she's like, should I try it with a different one? And I was like, you know what? I think your body and your mind and your nervous system knows what is best, what it needs to express, and when it expresses what is truthful to it, your body, mind, and soul, I suppose, then that's the truth. And that truth is going to connect with your audience. And honestly, she sang this version of the song that she'd been practicing, and I was like, wow, that was absolutely beautiful. So I think sometimes we get stuck in these shoulds and should nots. We have to be 100% on pitch. We have to be technically correct all the time. We have to express this certain emotion because this is how it's been done before, or this is what I have sung before. But I think Leonard Cohen's singing is an invitation for us to throw away those rules and try singing with curiosity and creativity and just see what happens and follow what your body and your voice wants, where it wants to take you, because sometimes it takes you to the most beautiful place.
You let me know what's really going on below, but now you never even show it to me, do you? I remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove, she was moving too, and every single breath that we drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I've done my best, I know it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I learned to touch. I've told the truth, I didn't come here to London just to fool you.
It's so interesting. He has not come here just to fool us. He's come here to tell the truth of how he feels, and I believe him in that for sure. And how he's phrasing it, I don't know if it's a natural thing. I think it probably is. I think he is just following his feelings, but how he emphasizes the important words. Sometimes he runs really quickly through a word, sometimes he slows it down. He's really pushing and pulling that rhythm to make it feel like a natural speech, to make it feel like natural emotion. And one of the things I want you to pay attention to is how you express yourself naturally through emotion. Sometimes we can get there through just feeling that emotion, and we're forming that connection in our brain and our voice just goes there. Sometimes we do need to be analytical and have a little think about how we express ourselves naturally. I think the important thing is to work out how you express yourself naturally. I think the most beautiful thing is when people sing like themselves.
I've done my best, I know it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I learned to touch. I've told the truth, I didn't come here to London just to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand right here before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Oh, I love that little stop.
Hallelujah.
So, is Leonard Cohen a great singer? Well, if you judge him by technique alone, then he might not fare so well by that metric. But if you judge him by connection, by expression, by poetry, and there's no one else quite like him. Before you go, I have just released my very own album, Fable. There are some of the songs available here on YouTube and on Spotify, and the whole album is available on my website, bethroars.com, and on Bandcamp. I'd love if you could check it out. I'm really proud of it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.